you consider yourself to be working, middle or even upper class? Well, a report from Bristol University this week says it matters a little less than it used to. Apparently, if you were born into a poor environment, it's now easier to climb the social ladder. So how hard is it to get ahead when the odds are against you? Madeline Ware reports.
Are you chav?
Yeah.
What's a chav?
John Prescott's been looking at what class or class means in Britain for the BBC.
Well, what class are you then?
I'm just like middle class. I don't like.
You're middle class?
Yeah. I ain't got loads of money. I'm not poor.
I think you're the first one I've seen which I would say you're working class, but you would say you're middle class.
But I don't work.
The former Deputy Prime Minister isn't the only working class boy done good.
I've got a working class background and culturally I'm still quite working class, but I live a middle class lifestyle, and so I'm sort of neither fish nor fowl in terms of class.
Paul Smith is hoping to become a Labour MP at the next election. He's also chief exec of a national charity, and it all started here on a council estate in South Bristol.
This is the door to the flat where I lived, and this is a bit of concreting that my dad did, and it's still got my name and my brother's name, Paul and David, scratched into the concrete, something that was done nearly 40 years ago now, and I can just make out Betty, which is my mum's name.
And it was Paul's parents who urged him to work hard. He went to the local comp, GCSEs, A-levels, and then into academic orbit with a degree in astrophysics.
My parents left school with no qualifications, and my dad could really hardly read or write, but they always felt that education was the way out.
But Paul's story isn't typical of a white working class estate. According to a new government report, social mobility didn't improve between 1970 and 2000. But the research, partly done by Bristol University, does suggest things are now on the up.
For a long time, this gap has remained fairly constant, but for the first time for a new generation of young people, it's begun to be the case that the number of GCSEs you get is less associated whether you come from a rich or a poor family.
Social mobility isn't everything. We have to realise that not everybody can move up into the Premiership, and that we have to value everybody in our society. And equality is still, for me, a very important issue, that we need to make sure that people who haven't worked their way up the educational or the career tree still have a decent standard of life.